Hey friends, and welcome back to my art studio. So today we're going to be doing something I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and that is paint pouring. I'm super duper excited. And I have many things that I'm wanting to try with this. I've never done this before. This is my first shot at it, so if it turns out bad, then that's why. But we're going to have a lot of fun doing it anyway, so it's not going to matter. I have plenty of paint, as you all know, but I also bought this like Liquid-X stuff that you mix with the paint so that when you're pouring, your colors don't like mix together and make like a brown or a black. They all stay their own color, so this is what I'm using for that, Liquid-X. And then I have these very small, like flat canvases that I'm going to be practicing paint pouring on. I have two completely blank ones. And then I have like 4 to 5 with already stuff on them that I don't like that I was going to paint over anyways. So I'm just going to paint pour on top of them and it's going to be fine. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing that we have to do is mix our colors with the Liquid-X. I decided to start with just rainbow, Roy G. Bibb, red to pink. That's what I decided to do. How aesthetically pleasing is it to look at this? Later on I do mix different colors off camera, but you'll see that, I promise. So from what I understand, and I honestly didn't do that much research, it's supposed to be 2/3 paint and 1/3 Liquid-X. So I just kind of eyeballed it and mixed it up, and that's just the truth. And then I just mixed it, and it does give a different consistency than like this water-based like paint. It gives it more of like a thicker, like rubbery consistency, almost slightly like slime. So that was interesting. So the first technique I wanted to try was stacking the paint on top of each other. I see videos on Instagram and YouTube of people doing this, so I decided to just do it in color order and just stack every single color on top of each other. And because we mix it with the Liquid-X, none of the colors should like blend together and make another color. They should all stay their own color. So the first problem that I immediately realized is that maybe I didn't have enough paint on my canvas, because I was having a hard time getting the paint to cover the entire canvas. Like I wanted the entire canvas, each corner, to just be like dripping and covered in paint, and I was having a hard time getting it to move. It would move really good at first, but then after about right here, it would just stop, and I would just kind of have to like shake the canvas or blow on it or something to get it to move at all. And even after that, I was just having an actual really hard time getting the paint to move, and I think that's really just because I didn't have enough paint on the canvas. So I decided to go back in and add in red, orange, and yellow because they kind of got lost anyways whenever I was doing the first round. So I just went to the top and added in those colors just to try to like cover the entire canvas. And honestly, the red still got lost and there's not really any red on this piece, but I tried to put more red, and the yellow and orange just apparently ate it. And as you can see, it like drips really slowly, and then it just like almost doesn't want to move. Like I couldn't get the paint to just like pour all over the place. It was just like, it was just getting stuck and not wanting to go anywhere, which was a little frustrating. So I tried to shake it, and it just pretty much wasn't going anywhere. So this is just kind of how it turned out. This was my first attempt. Okay, so for the next round, I decided to stack the paint again, but I was going to do it in 3 separate parts of the canvas, and that way there was more paint on the canvas, and it was like covering more at the beginning, and I was like, hopefully this will definitely cover the entire canvas because it was more paint, and I was putting in all areas of the canvas, so it just seemed like it would work. I also just decided to use what I had left over from the first mix, which wasn't a lot, and so like I didn't have any red left and stuff, so I just made my own pattern. I didn't stick with the rainbow order. And for the moment of truth. My first immediate goal was to just try to get each corner to have paint on it. And as you can see, I had the same issue again where the paint barely wanted to move. The paint was like, it would move just enough, and it was like as soon as it thinned out a little bit, it just stopped moving, which, I mean, it does make sense. It needs to be like super thick and a lot of paint. So I tried to blow on it with my mouth, and it was moving a little bit. So I was like, oh, this is a great idea. But also, I wasn't like getting that big of an effect with it. So I decided to grab my blow dryer. And this was a mistake, absolutely, because the blow dryer was just too strong and it just made the whole canvas just one color. And so, yeah, I decided to just blend that out with my hand and cover the whole canvas. And I was thinking, maybe I was supposed to prime the canvas and have it already kind of wet. Like, maybe that would help the paint move better. So I decided to just put more paint on top of the wet paint that I had just demolished with the blow dryer, in hopes that since the background was wet, it would help the paint move. Don't like these color combos, but it was just what I had left from the original mix, so I was just trying to use all the paint that I mixed. I don't think that those colors necessarily look that great together. The paint did move, but honestly, it wasn't that different than what was happening originally. It moved a good bit, and then after it thinned out, I didn't want to move anymore. Even though the background was wet, it just still wasn't thick enough, and there just still wasn't enough paint, which was really frustrating because I just wanted so bad to get a good outcome with one of these. So this was my second attempt. I really do promise that we have good outcomes later. Please do not click off the video. So for this next one, I decided to put all of the colors in one cup instead of stacking them. I decided to just fill one cup with all the colors and then just pour that cup all over the canvas. It was just another technique that I saw online, and so I wanted to try it. So I mixed some new colors this time. I have some pastel pinks and some yellows and a different color blue, and I just decided to mix different colors. And I just plopped that cup on there. Already I can tell that there's so much more paint on the canvas than before. So I had really high hopes. And while I was moving everything around, my main goal was to just try to cover the entire canvas. Like, I was trying not to pay attention too much to what it was looking like. I was just trying to cover the entire canvas with paint because I hadn't yet done that. Slowly but surely, the paint was getting where it needed to go, and it was covering the entire canvas. It moved really fast and a lot at first when there was a lot of paint, and the more the paint fell off the canvas, started moving slower and thinning out. But we were able to cover every single cover of this corner of this canvas, and I'm so happy with how this one turned out. This was the first one that I was like, yes, finally.
Oh my god, no! I forgot to press record. Frick! This one turned out so good too! Dang it!
I did the same technique on this one that I did on the one previously. I just put a bunch of colors in the cup and flipped it over, but I forgot to press record. Which is really disappointing, but I am really happy with how this one turned out.
So the bottom of the box was full of paint, and I was like, well, why don't I just try to move that around and see if I can make the bottom of the box like a really beautiful piece as well, because it had so much paint at the bottom that was still like wet. So that's what I'm doing here. I decided to just try to play around with that to see if I could like come up with something really cute. So the canvases took 24 hours to completely dry, and this cardboard took 48 hours. It took an extra day. I don't know why, but I don't know if it like soaks in a little bit more on the cardboard or what, but it took extra time to dry. So if you try to do it on cardboard, just a heads up, it does take way longer to dry. But then I got my X-Acto knife and I cut out the bottom of the box so that we could just use it as a canvas. And I cut off all the edges and just cleaned it up and made it like super like clean, and I just wanted it to look more like a canvas, even though like there is like the bendy parts in the middle. I just thought that it gave it some really cute dimension, and I don't know, I really like it. And this is how the bottom of the box turned out. I mean, honestly, I think it looks great. I think it looks just as good as the last two that I did, so I'm super happy with it. I'm just gonna call it a canvas and hang it somewhere in my art room as well.
Okay guys, that's going to be it for this video. I'm covered in paint and I'm officially out of Liquid-X. I don't have any left. I was definitely eyeballing the Liquid-X, so I don't know if that had anything to do with anything I did wrong, but I'm really happy with the last two. They turned out so cute, and that's how I wanted all 5 of them to turn out. But we had a little trial and error, so that's okay. I had so much fun. I highly recommend you guys trying this at home. Since I now have the hang of it, if you guys want me to try again, I definitely can. Just let me know in the comments. I'll buy some more Liquid-X and we can definitely take another shot at it. Make sure you're subscribed because I post videos every single week and I wouldn't want you to miss it. Bye!